the Special News Podcast. This is episode 107. My name's Mike Williams. These guys are Jake Lukowski and Liam McKelvey, who I can tell you for certain have been doing little else but play PS5 over the last few days because the PS5's just come out. And as you expect, it's going to be a PS5 heavy podcast again.
That's right, Mike. I know. But yeah, it's one of them. I tried to play the Switch, tried to play the Xbox for a bit to try and keep things even. Wasn't happening. So sorry about that, everybody. Sorry about that to the PC Master Race, but just humorous. Some of these games are not just out on the PlayStation, so that's good. And at least you didn't have to. Actually, it doesn't matter. I was going to say at least you didn't have to queue up, but maybe there's people that wanted the PS5 and didn't get one because they couldn't because of the lack of stock. In which case, sore subject. Sorry.
Well, I had a bit of a nightmare. So the day it was supposed to dispatch, which was the Wednesday, I had my payment got declined for a security reason. Like my bank just said, someone's tried to take 450 quid out of your account on Amazon. Yeah. And I've just recently changed my bank account. So it was, so that was like a fucking nightmare after having waited for ages for the PS5 to get sent. But nevertheless, I got it about 2:00 on launch day, which gave me plenty of time to, actually, no, it was earlier than that. Plenty of time to have a spin with it. Liam, you were a bit later on in the day getting yours.
Yeah, I was a bit. I was getting a bit salty towards the end as the day went on because I had the day off work and I was ready. I was excited. I had my tracking number, and the thing didn't turn up until 5:45 at night. So I had the entire day where just basically, well, I won't say wasted because I managed to get through the entire season of TV, but it didn't.
It wasn't the intention of you booking a day off to watch TV.
Yeah, I almost lost hope for a second until it turned up 15 minutes before the end of the delivery estimate. I in a hybrid of both of your stories, the PS4, when I got that, the first time, it was my first time I ever had a job that paid monthly rather than weekly. So I had an unprecedented amount of money in my bank. Whoa! I bought a PS4 and I took the day off work. And it just didn't turn up. And then I looked on Amazon and it was payment was declined. And then I phoned up the bank and they were like, oh, it was just dodgy. You tried to buy trainers and a console. I was like, I'm in my early 20s and I'm buying a games console and trainers. But they're like,
let me live my life, bank.
Yeah. But so funnily enough, that's a mix of both of them. Sorry, but it did. So you guys both got it on launch day.
Yep.
Which is kind of not what some people got. I don't know if you've seen these I guess horror stories about people who've bought on Amazon and they're getting
air fryers,
hair dryers, air fryers. I mean, an air fryer is good.
The weirdest one I saw was what was it? It was a mango cutter. How specific is that? A mango cutter?
I love that, Jake, you said an air fryer is good, as if you would go, oh, well, it is an air fryer, though.
Hey,
so that's
to be fair,
lemons, mangoes.
We've got an air fryer, and we swear by it in this house.
Exactly. Air fryer is the most used kitchen appliance for us. Yeah. We use it more than a microwave and an oven in it. So.
Yep.
I don't care if it was a fucking BMW. I'd be like, it's not a fucking PlayStation, is it?
So if anyone out there listening, it's sat there sad eating some very crispy roast potatoes with minimal oil usage. It wasn't all bad, was it? However, if you so I got a PS5 no problem, but a friend of ours, her boyfriend is a big gamer. He's been busy lately, and she asked me for some help. She's just like, oh, Jake knows about games. He'll be able to help me get a PS5. So we were both there, and then so I still simulated this process of trying to buy one from launch day. So I obviously we all pre-ordered ours
on launch day. You mean
on launch day? Yeah, that's it. Yes, so there was it was this kind of it was all done in waves. There was at 9:00 in the morning, John Lewis and Very went live, and then Curry's, and then Asda, Walmart said it was going to soon, maybe didn't. Then it secretly did and sold out in a minute. And it was really crazy. And there's no word at all on whether stock's even going to be back in before Christmas. Where was it? I think it was at Game. Game has a second wave that's not been sent out to people till the 14th of December. And that's sold out. So that wave sold out on launch day. So that means you're talking after Christmas if you've pre-ordered any from Game after that wave. So it's actually a bit of a struggle to get one. Meanwhile, the Xbox is there if you want it. So that's good.
Is it really? Because I've not I'm not aware of the Xbox situation, really. I've not really looked what's going on with it. So
I've heard Xbox is like really hard to get still.
Yeah,
like Series X especially. That is like apparently there's like some places that got Series S's floating about. Yeah. Series X is like it's just as hard to get as the PS5 from what I heard.
Since Xbox launch, there's been 3 major restocks of the Series X. They've gone like straight away, but they're being restocked. Whereas the PlayStation, people are saying, well, by people I mean like at least the retailer Game and Curry's, I think, has said like we're not getting any more stock now till at least after Black Friday, which I know is only this week, but like it's ticking down, and it's not just time that's ticking, is it? Like if you're a family getting ready for Christmas and stuff like that, your budget is going and going and going. So the PlayStation might have been one of those we'll just stretch to buy it, but now by the time they bought out these little bits and bobs, they might not be able to get one. So it's just been a bit of a weird thing. It's very Nintendo in the way that it's been handled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot of that's going to obviously be down to what's happened this year with having COVID-19 having an effect on production and stuff like that. And to be honest, I do kind of feel like that there are some, I guess it's jumping in way ahead of myself here a little bit, but there are just my experience with the console itself has been a little bit like, there are things that I feel has been, you can see that they've had to cut corners a little bit in some places, and some things are kind of working enough to kind of get them out the door. There's a huge kind of variety of horror stories. I haven't really seen what's been going on with the Xbox, but mainly about the PlayStation. About as you'd expect, like consoles not working, consoles crashing, consoles being bricked if you leave it in a certain mode or whatever, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like I was kind of like expecting that a little bit. I kind of thought if they're actually getting these both with Xbox and PlayStation, if they're actually getting these out this year, they're not going to be like perfect, and there's not going to be a huge amount of them to go around, which is exactly what the situation is. So, so Liam, what's been your first impressions? What was your first couple of days with the PS5 like?
So my first impression is it's very smooth. It's very slick. There's obviously a lot of care, and a lot of care and design has gone into everything from just like the basic UI to at first I wasn't a believer in the loading until I actually booted up Spider-Man for the first time, and I was like, I instinctively just force a habit pulled my phone out to just go on Reddit or Twitter or whatever, and then before I could even open Reddit, there it was. Spider-Man was in the main menu. So it's
pretty magical, isn't it? Really, how quickly.
I'm a believer now. I doubted it at first, but I'm a believer. Just everything is very polished. I loved how as soon as just setting up the console, it was like, if you got the PlayStation app, just scan this QR code and you signed in straight away. None having to type my email address in on a controller and everything.
That was great. That was really, really good, actually. That whole setup process I thought was brilliant. And the way it was just saying, why don't you pop a disc in a tray and we'll get that installed in while we're going through all this other stuff.
Just so I really appreciate how easy it was to set up and how no faffing about it was. Just everything. I plugged in an external hard drive into it to download all my PS4 games. And that was straight. I plugged it in and it was just you need to format it. Took a couple seconds, and then that was that. And I had loads of PS4 games in my download queue going. Download speed, so much better than the PS4. Things actually take advantage of your fast internet if you've got it. I downloaded... Oh, what was it? I downloaded Avengers PS4 version just to have a go on it quickly. and it was done in like 10 minutes, which was great.
Crazy.
All the patches were just like, I just put all my discs in, let them install from the disc. Patches were done like straight away, so everything was nice and smooth. And then I dug straight into Astrobot. Was the first thing I played. That was a lot of fun. Very nice little showcase for thingy, just like for the controller and what the system can do. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised. I would have paid for Astrobot. You know, I would have paid £15 for Astrobot.
I was thinking just that when I was playing it myself. I was thinking this is a kind of a launch title in its own right,
but
I don't think it's been counted as that way as such. I don't think so anyway.
I mean, it is like very short. You can finish it in like an hour or two. Yeah. But still, like, you know, there's so many indie games that are only an hour or two to get through. So I would have paid money for Astrobot, which I think speaks to the quality of Astrobot. And then, I went into a bit of Spider-Man straight after that. And that is a very nice looking game. Like, straight away, I noticed all the ray tracing, like, swinging past all the skyscrapers, seeing the reflections of everything. Like, that was very nice to see. And it's fun. Miles Morales is basically just like Spider-Man 1.5 or an expansion pack to Spider-Man with a couple new powers. I guess I'll talk about that a bit later. But just like the console is really smooth. I literally plugged it into my TV. TV auto detected everything, set everything for me, so it like auto enabled HDR, high refresh rate, did it all straight away. And it's just like it's very smooth. It's very well designed. I have to say, like the UI. I was just gonna say, like, the UI. I'm still not 100% sold on. I think it is
really?
Like,
I love it.
It's just that I still haven't got used to having to like the quick menu now was just pressing the button once and then holding it takes you actually back to the UI screen, the home screen. It's like close your games and stuff.
Which I think is more like Xbox, isn't it? Or at least it was on the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
I love the UI. I think it's very slick and kind of premium feeling, you know.
Yeah,
but
I think
one of the you mentioned quickly there, the high refresh rate. That was one example of a weird. So if you want to set 120 hertz, which is kind of not a widely. Not many people's TVs are going to support it in the first place. But you can play games at 120 hertz on a PS5.
Mm-hmm.
But to do that, you've got to go into like a weird game preset preferences thing in the system menu, set game defaults to like performance mode, which isn't obvious at all. I only knew this because I looked into it and I wanted to check it out and see what it was like. On COD, what it was like in 120 hertz.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to jump through some weird hoops to get it working.
You do, yeah.
Which kind of, that's one of the examples where I think they haven't entirely thought things out properly and thought, well, it's only going to be a small percentage of people who got the TVs to make it work anyway, so we'll worry about that later. But that's just one of the examples where I thought that.
The only option or setting I think I had to like dig through the thingy system menu for was to change my change the output of my sound from just stereo to 5.1 that was the only thing I had to like mess about with to set up. But even that was like not too difficult to find. It was literally just change your HDMI output device to whatever, like your AV amplifier or your sound bar or whatever you've got plugged in. But even that was like, it was very easy to find.
But that's another one where you can't, if you're on soundbar, right, which I think you are, Liam, right? You got your soundbar hooked up to it, so have I. If you pick soundbar, you can't change how many channels and stuff. You have to change it to AV amplifier or whatever, and then you're allowed to pick 5.1 or so. So this is all like nerdy, technical stuff, but it's to me it's important. Like I just part of the getting the cinematic stuff right is important.
I guess I was lucky with mine because it auto detected that I had 5.1 capability. So Well, not true 5.1. I don't want to, aggravate the true sound heads out there.
If you've ever been on our home theatre, just stay the fuck away from the comments, all right? Just don't. We know, okay?
I know technically I've only got 3.1 channels, but leave me alone. But this is the best podcast ever. But everything else, it was like super smooth, like so easy to set up.
Yeah.
Quick as well. Like I remember setting up the Switch a couple of years ago. It felt like I was just like going through so much setup. It was like a half hour, 40 minutes before I could even play the Switch. Same with when I got the PS4, and I remember getting the PS4 Pro and having to transfer all my data over from my old PS4. That took an entire day over an Ethernet cable, which was not fun. Getting a brand new shiny PS4 Pro and not being able to play anything for like 12 hours while it transferred. But this was like super quick, and
I think that trickles through to like everything, doesn't it? I mean, you look at the way you mentioned the loading times there, and even on some third party like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I've surprisingly to me anyway, that's what I've spent most of my time playing. Even that loads fucking quickly, and it's just kind of going back to that plug in and play, like how consoles used to be. They used to be different to the PC because you just plugged it into your TV, put a game in it, and then you were away. But that last gen, I think I remember myself talking about this actually, about the PS4, how things are just, there's so much packaging and network, subscriptions, logins, and all this kind of shit around the games that there's loads of barriers to just how plug-in and playable console gaming has been recently. So it's really nice to see them really making an effort to get rid of the barriers again. And like you were saying with the app login, Liam, if you're already logged into the PlayStation app on your phone, you just fucking scan a QR code and bang, there you go. You're logged in on the... So all them little details add up to make your time getting to the game like a lot quicker. Which is
for sure.
Which is really good.
The only complaint I have about the system itself, I guess, is I still don't like how it looks. But thankfully I don't spend that much time looking at it, and it's just sort of nestled away in my TV cabinet, so I don't have to look at the monstrosity that is that design with its weird wings and whatever else.
Have you got it horizontal or vertical?
I have it horizontal because I've got nowhere to put it vertical. I thought maybe I could swap where my Switch dock was. Still too big. So I've just had to place it horizontal. It's got an entire shelf to itself, like domineering over all the other consoles I have. And it's just sat there like a king. So
I've gone vertical for the same reason, but in the opposite direction. Like there's not enough room. My shelf under my TV is too dainty to take a unit that big, so I've had to put it vertical, and I actually like it. I like it a lot more in person than I did in photos. Anyway, I do like it a lot.
Yeah, the anti-catfish, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just think it could have been the ugliest fucker ever.
Yeah,
but it's you just learn to love it. Love is blind,
Have you gone vertical or horizontal? John?
Mine is standing up, and mine's a vertical presence.
So we both like it, and it stood up.
Maybe it don't look so good from the side.
Yeah,
yeah. Maybe I don't know, but I could have had it either way. Yeah, I know, but it's not a sleek, cool looking thing.
It reminds me of those Alienware PCs from like 2004. That's what it reminds me of, with just like grills. Well, this hasn't even got grills on it, but it's just I don't. It's weird. It's weird to have a console feel like it's trying to make a statement, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely is like a statement design.
Like a perfume bottle.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. It totally is. Whereas for certainly PS4, like what was it? It was just
a slab.
It's just a slab with a little bit of
straight, like.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. Yeah.
So Jake, how have you found your time with it?
You know what? It's been good, but it's kind of been. I've had the problem with Demon Souls, and it's just kind of taken over my life. It's all I've done. I've got every launch title. I have every launch title. I'm very lucky, very, very privileged. I've played Demon Souls, and one other game, which I'll go on to in a minute. But I have been absolutely just caning it, right? I got close to the platinum on it, and then I've been waiting to tell you this, but you guys already know, I think, actually. And I also tweeted about it, but in FromSoft games, they're normally pretty fair. And like on this one, there's 30 rings. There's 28 rings that you can get inside the game. And there's 2 additional rings that you could have started with. One is given to you as a character boon, and the other one is part of the deluxe edition. So after some discovery, you learn that you can get the special deluxe edition ring by trading some pure blade stone, which is a really rare drop from these dual wielding katana skeletons. But there's also this ring, the providential ring, which you can only get if you start your character with the ring, and that is it. And if you didn't get that, fuck off, basically. So the funny thing is, I'd never played Demon Souls, and I played it blind. And I had a really good blind run, about 18 hours or so. And then that was it. But there's all sorts of complicated systems in Demon Souls that aren't really in Dark Souls. Like the world has got basically like a karma level, but it's called a tendency. So it goes from pure white to pure black. White representing good, black evil. So just think of it as a karma system if you're just uninitiated, basically. Each individual world, there's 5 worlds, has a karma system, and your character has a karma system. And doing good things gives you white karma, and doing bad things gives you black karma. And there's certain aspects of the game, and there's certain things that happen when the world is in its white, pure state or not. So the way to achieve this is by doing different things. I didn't know any of that. I was playing it blind. I'm just trying to have fun at first. So I started my character. I had the ring. I played the blind playthrough, and then I just started it again, thinking, okay, this is going to be my platinum guy. I just pressed A, X, 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 X. Got all the way through the character creation screen, and I'm sorry for anyone that's listening that thinks I've done something bad there. The people that spend 2 hours on character creation screen, I just hit random, hit any character, hit any class, didn't give a shit.
Fuck you, man.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, I didn't have the last laugh today because you know what's happening next.
I'm glad.
I get all the rings. Turns out, so I'm fucked. And I thought, well, maybe I'll hold off and they'll uncover a way of getting the ring. However, in Demon Souls Remake, there's been this secret door that's not in the original. And Bluepoint, who are the developers behind this complete remake from the ground up, are the people that did Shadow of the Colossus. And Shadow of the Colossus is a cult classic from the PS2, and there was this fan theory about a secret area in the game that I don't think was ever actually in the game. But in the remake, they put a secret room that you could get into by hitting a certain criteria, and that gave way to the secret garden. So much like that, in this, they've got this secret door, and no one knew how to open it. So for the first week of its release, everyone was trying everything to try, so somebody traded every single item in the game with this crow that trades for the rings, and they found out every single thing, and they didn't find this providential ring. It still hasn't been found, so people assume still the only way to get it is by starting again. So I started the game again for the 3rd time, and then I completed it, and then I completed it again. I've finished Demon Souls 5 times since launch, and I'm now on my final playthrough. And for anyone that understands Demon Souls and Souls, here's where I am. I need to get World 2 to Pure White Tendency to kill the Black Phantom, to get Pure White Character Tendency, to get the Friends Ring. After I've done that, I can kill every NPC and get the Foes Ring. Then I've got all the rings. And the only thing I need left to do is to spend 2 souls of the Dragon God to get my final spell from the Witch, and then I'm done with the Platinum. That didn't mean anything to anyone, but if you know about Demon Souls, you'll know how close I am. I'm very close. It's like Donald Trump. No one's closer to me. But I've been playing a bit of Call of Duty. I played it with you guys, and I played it by myself.
Yep.
I turned Bug Snacks on. I turned Bug Snacks off. I played Just Dance. I thought, what am I doing? Turned it off. I got Miles Morales downloaded, but I'm not going to play it yet.
Oh,
then I thought, well, I'll wait till I have Platinum Demon Souls. Assassin's Creed Valhalla's installed, not played it. I got a Destiny. I turn it on. I turn it off. I think about Demon's Souls. I'm just a broken man. Yeah. Apart from like one game. Yeah?
Which is
Tetris Effect.
Yes.
It is so good. I nearly cried. It's so good, you know. I'm not joking.
I am so happy about this. I feel validated.
It's because I honestly thought, right, I was playing Demon's Souls and I thought, no other game is just making me feel very happy. And
Do you reckon maybe because you're just emotionally vulnerable because of the Demon's Souls ordeal that you've just been fucking ruined by Tetris Effect at just the right time?
I don't know. I played Tetris Effect at quite a happy time in my life and I had the same reaction.
So I thought, Liam always talks about Tetris Effect and he hasn't been wrong before. How much is it? Oh my God, that's a lot. I got it. So I got it, and I'm sitting there thinking, all right, you fucking prick, impress me. And also, you're Tetris, so what the fuck are you going to do? You know, it's Tetris. How is everyone talking about this game?
So far, that is exactly what would be going through my head. That's exactly how I'd think. I would think, oh, that's expensive, I'll get it anyway. And I would think, you're fucking Tetris, what are you going to do to me? Come on, impress me. So far...
Without being like too anecdotal, yeah, I really like listening to electronic music, and it's a hobby of mine that I don't really feel I can share with many people around me because even people I do know that like similar music to me don't really listen to. Like I listen because I work at home. I listen to a lot of like mixes, like DJ mixes and boiler room sets and whatever. If you know about electronic music, like boiler room and whatever, because it's like a good thing to listen to rather than listen to an album. It's listening to one thing flow all the way through, and I spend hours and hours on my computer. So. And I listen to like lots of like obscure, weird music, and sometimes it takes ages to build up. And it's like big, like, you know, proper fucking weird stuff. This Tetris Effect is like that. It's like stupidly good. I thought this is just going to be Tetris, and there's going to be some jellyfish in the background in it.
To be honest, that's exactly what I've been thinking.
Yeah,
I've been thinking there's some animals in the background.
It's going to be Tetris, and the camera might shake a little bit at one point, and it's going to play some crappy music. But the music is so good. It's honestly like if you go to a proper rave, like a proper actual rave, and see a proper DJ, not like a Tiesto, not like a floor filler, not like a showstopper, play all the hits.
Yeah. Except Tetris.
No, apart from like a real DJ set is like a whole show, and it's like a concert, and it builds up. And I'm playing it like listen to this, yeah. Tonight, my wife goes out every single night, every single Monday night at 6:00, yeah. And she was late today. Because she was watching me on Tetris Effect. It hypnotized us. She never gets like that. She wasn't not like that about Demon's Souls, was she? Fucking wasn't like that about the ray trace ruins on fucking Astro fucking Playroom. Tetris, it's just Tetris. But it's the music. Oh my God, it's so good. There's like lyrics and everything, man. There's like proper. There's vocals. It's this whole presentation, and it feels so fun to play. It's like it's. I can't explain how good it is. It has no right to be this good, yeah. But it's. Do you want to? I've got it on Xbox and I've got it on PlayStation, so I can play it upstairs and downstairs.
You're having a really hard time finishing sentences at the moment, which tells me that you're very excited about it. I believe in every word you're saying.
There's a reason they call the final level Metamorphosis. You know, I'm just saying.
I've got to tell you, honestly, I don't know why, I don't know how, you know, by what will. I played a bit. I tell you what else. So I played a bit of No Man's Sky on there as well. So the weird thing is with this one, boys, is that I got No Man's Sky and I played it straight away when I had my PS5, and I installed it and I thought that there was the update. I thought it had gone live, and I went on Reddit and people were talking about it like it had gone live. So. And it was showing screenshots of it on PC. And I downloaded it, and it looked great. It looked amazing.
Yeah. Little did you know, they're always sharing screenshots of No Man's Sky on the No Man's Sky Reddit. When are they not putting screenshots of the fucking game up on?
I think it was like what I had been playing was a hotfix of like the last patch. So then I think it might have actually just been, I think it was yesterday. It was like yesterday or the day before. It said there's a PS5 update available for No Man's Sky, and I'm thinking, well, what the fuck have I been playing? Because it looked amazing. And so I downloaded it and I played it again. All of a sudden, there's a bunch of mushrooms on the floor, and the game looks better than it ever did. Is your TV HDR? No.
Right. Okay. But
I tried for now. Ask me again at Christmas.
Okay. Well, you probably. I mean, I tried playing it. Right. So I got an LG OLED, and so I was trying to play No Man's Sky. Is one of the first things I fired up on a PS5. In fact, it gives you an option as you're going through the setup, as I kind of mentioned earlier. So it says put a disc in and we'll install that, and then a few steps later it says pick one of these games and we'll download this and play. So I had Bugsnax, No Man's Sky to choose from, so I chose No Man's Sky. So I played it pretty early on, like the third game I played on it. But it's Summit is badly wrong with the HDR on it, and so I googled this, and there's a lot. It actually goes back a long time to like the PC version, and certain planets haven't been coded properly when it comes to HDR, so it just looks weird. So the game fires up, and it's like a blistering, like white kind of, burning your retinas.
Yeah.
So I could just about tell that I was a spaceman on a planet, but that was it.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I couldn't see.
Oh, wow.
So, and everything, I'm a fucking settings. I've been spending more time setting this fucking thing up than I have playing games on it. Right. So I tried all the different possible variations of like dynamic tone mapping and stuff on my TV, and calibrating it and stuff. But it wasn't. Everything else looks amazing. Spider-Man looks amazing. Assassin's Creed looks amazing.
Well, just curious.
No Man's Sky just looks broken.
So is that been in the last since this PS5 version has come out? Maybe because
I did try it. I can't remember when again. So I tried it. I think on Saturday.
Yeah, yesterday.
So I noticed.
Wait,
no, 2 days ago.
Yeah. I noticed when I was going through my game library on the PS5, because I've got the digital version of No Man's Sky. It said instead of install below it, it had upgrade available. So I'm assuming that's the PS5 version that you have to download separately.
That's what I mean. Right. It was separate because it said upgrade available. I clicked it and it was a full 11 gig.
Yeah.
So which is another problem with the PS5. I've been
fundamentally the worst thing about it for me. I think.
Yeah. No, it's a problem, and everyone I like, other people I've been speaking to who've got PS5s have exactly the same issue. So for people that don't know what this issue is. Well, the only way you won't know is if you don't have a fucking PS5. Because if you do, you'll fucking know. If you've got a game cross-gen, let's say it's Call of Duty or whatever, it'll just like for me, it's downloading both the PS5 and the PS4 version. They're both the same size, but one's the PS5 version, one's the PS4 version. So I obviously uninstalled or stopped downloading. The PS4 version. So I've just got the PS5 version. So now on my home screen it says Call of Duty. I click to press play and it says download, and then I'm like, well, I've got it downloaded, and I have to go into like this little options menu inside the game, click which version I want to play, move past the alpha and the beta and the other beta and the PS4 version, and go to the PS5 version. I click that and then I can click play. It's like each game has different versions and each version is the same size as the others. So currently I have 2 identical copies of No Man's Sky on my PS5. I've got the PS4 version and the PS5 version. And one of them will be highlighted to me to press play. And if it's not the PS5 version, what's the fucking point?
Yeah. Like I have to say I've not encountered that, but I knew what you'd said about it because you'd done it before me. So when I went to download Black Ops, I'd bought the digital version of Call of Duty Black Ops. I didn't press download all. I went, well, hang on a minute, Mike. Remember what Jake said. Oh, and then I went on the things and I picked, I want campaign 1, campaign 2, campaign 3, multiplayer. Yeah, I'll have that. Zombies. Yeah, I'll have that. Dead fucking co-op arcade. Nah, I don't want that. And so you have to like choose from a buffet of fucking options that you want.
Yeah.
And you have to, I know it sounds strange to say, but you kind of have to buy the PS4 version of Call of Duty Black Ops. You can't just get the PS5 version.
No.
Which is a strange, really strange. Why, if you're going to have this backwards compatibility thing, why can't it be more just like a PC gaming situation where I have just got a more powerful system. Just give me the fucking game. I don't care what version it is.
Can't you just do the thinking for me under the hood? Because I know that my PS5 can play the PS5 version, so just do that for me. Why make me play the PS4 version, you stupid bitch?
That's again another example of the kind of, perhaps things they would have spent more time testing, focus testing, getting feedback on, seeing how well they worked, but they just didn't, perhaps didn't have the luxury of time to be able to do that as much. But I'd expect things like that to improve over time. I'm not saying I hope. I fucking expect that to be better than it, Because I look back to the PS4, PSN store when the PS4 came about, and it was, it was like a wasteland there was only like 3 things on there. It was fucking hopeless. And then within a matter of months, it was just filling up really quickly with indie games and stuff. And, what seemed like a kind of an issue to begin with was soon rectified as more people bought the system and they spent more time developing the PSN storefront and stuff. So I would really expect them to improve that PS4, PS5 tiered which game are you going to play thing, because that's fucked.
Speaking of which, and this isn't, I guess people who have the Xbox or the PC maybe have a similar thing, but I got Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War installed, and I wanted to play Warzone. I clicked on Warzone, and it says you don't have Warzone. So I thought, okay, well, I've had it previously, so I'll go to my games library, and I can't find Warzone. Where's Warzone? So I go to the PlayStation Store, and there's Call of Duty Warzone. So you click on that, and it says, okay, when you click it, it makes you download the base of Modern Warfare, which is 88 gig, and then also randomly Multiplayer Pack 3 and Compatibility Data Pack 1. It's like, what? How the fuck was I supposed to guess that? And so that's an extra 115 gig just to play Warzone. So I didn't.
The Call of Duty situation is bad, isn't it? Like between that and, as I was mentioning earlier, the fucking selecting all the different options of the game.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's not good.
No, it's not. We did play Call of Duty together for a bit, didn't we, on Friday night, was it?
Yeah.
It was all right, wasn't it, to be fair?
Yeah.
It was good, yeah. I mean, the controller functionality, the DualSense controller is fucking phenomenal. Like, what a revelation that is.
Yeah, believe the hype. Yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. If any time I've been in that frame of mind, as you were saying earlier, Jacob, being like, go on then, fucking how good can you be? Yeah. Like, what are you going to do? Like, wobbling my hand a little bit? But then it is amazing. I wouldn't say I was crying by the end of it or whatever, but it,
because you haven't played Tetris Effect.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But I was really fucking impressed. And Astro's Playroom is as we were talking about, Liam was saying earlier, is a good good enough game to buy, because it really showcases the DualSense really, really well. And I'd recommend that's the first thing I did. I think that's probably the first thing that like most people did is jump on Astro straight away. And but the controller is amazing, and what they've done with a controller on card is good implementation.
I just in case anyone was interested, like I say, I've been trying to through each launch title to test this. So I played Sackboy Adventure, I played WRC 9, Dirt 5, and I haven't played FIFA, but I can't imagine. Well, I have actually on Xbox. Remember?
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
91 gig of my time wasted. But I've been playing all the launch titles, and I got to say, Call of Duty, funnily enough, is the best use of the controller outside of Astro. It's pretty much non-existent in Demon Souls. There's a bit of resistance on the triggers when you've got a bow and arrow. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, there's one bit where there's a giant demon who's bound by chains and his heart is beating. Not too dissimilar from the giant brain of Menzies in Bloodborne, and you can feel the pulse of his heartbeat through the controller, and it feels really cool. I
think that Demon Souls would be quite ripe for creeping you out and stuff. And
absolutely, that one bit was really cool. And there's a part where you're fighting a dragon and it's nearly dead, and it's like got its last breath, and you feel that sort of thing. Other than that, it's very sparse, and I'm really really hoping that the implementation of at the very least the trigger resistance mechanic is something that carries on into the future. Like Destiny's big update is in just shy of 2 weeks.
Can't wait for that.
I cannot wait for that. And if they get the controls just right, move over Call of Duty. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, Valhalla is I kind of played that more than anything else, really. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and that has no. I'm going to go as far as saying there is no DualSense support in it. I mean, it fucking rumbles, but every controller rumbles. It doesn't do anything special with the DualSense, and it's a bit of a disappointment. But I didn't expect it to really.
There's not a lot in Spider-Man, to be honest, either outside of you get a little bit of resistance when you're swinging, and like as you do I don't know, I guess it's like the web leaving the shooter, it gets a bit more of resistance towards the end, but that's about it.
I think it's just about right in Spider-Man. Maybe they could have had a bit more fun with it, but in there's the web slinging thing is kind of, you're asking for something, aren't you? But what exactly? I don't know. Is it better because it's resistive? I don't know if it is, but
no, I guess not.
It's I think that's their kind of the dilemma that a lot of them are going to be facing now, and maybe Demon's Souls were trying to be a bit like, they were trying to be a bit more, I don't know, classy with it and just using it when it counts.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It does.
I guess a lot of Demon's Souls is because you're using the L1 R1 more than anything, and that's just that's just a normal button. That doesn't have any special feature to it.
That's exactly it. He was using fucking R2 attacks constantly. You know what I mean? And if you do, don't tell me. I don't really care. But the point is that it felt like it was purposeful restraint. To be honest, I'm interested, and I know that The Witcher's coming out. I know that Cyberpunk have said that there's going to be that in there, but Witcher, isn't it like face button combat? I can't remember.
I think
can't remember. Is it?
Yeah, but the triggers are the
So
silence.
I guess that'll be it, wouldn't it? I'm pretty. Yeah. So there could be some use, but I'm looking forward to The Witcher with no loading screens and better graphics is going to be crazy.
I started a playthrough of The Witcher 3 in like September, and as soon as I realised that it was going to be backwards compatible, improved on PS5, I stopped because I've still done the DLC for The Witcher 3, so there's going to be dozens of hours of new stuff for me to do there, and I can barely fucking remember what happens in it anyway because I played it in 2015. So I'm looking forward to replaying that.
Oh God. Sometimes I do forget that it is a really good game, and it kind of, like everyone talks about how good the game is. I think, what's up? Everyone knows it's good, but damn, now I'm really thinking, because you know what it is? The hindrance of knowing that my PS4 sounded like a fucking howling beast, like the wind's howling. Fucking tell me about it, Geralt, mate. I know, I'm living it. But then, and the loading screens were pretty annoying. When I revisited it a couple of months ago, maybe, and. February it was, so just shy of a year ago, and man, with no loading screens or whatever, it's going to be sick. I wish I've got all the games, literally all of them, and I've been playing Tetris and fucking Demon's Souls. 2 games, one's from 2009, the other's from fucking whatever, 1980 something.
All right, we've done a lot of talking. We haven't got a huge amount of time left, actually, so perhaps we've had so many emails this week, it's insane. And for some reason, Jake tweeted out saying, send us some emails. So we had like a massive pile-on top of the pile-on that we already had. So thank you, everyone.
But that's not in vain, because we might just check it out next week, innit? So
I've saved them all. Yeah, I've read every single one of them. Thank you, everyone who sent them in. Some cool stories and stuff in there, actually. But I'll just try to see what we can fit in that's kind of on topic, I guess. Yeah. So if you want to send us an email, the address is dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. That's dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. Send us anything you want: stories, opinions, questions, send it in, we'll have a read. We were just talking about Demon's Souls. This one is from Long Quan in Germany. Yeah. Sent in several emails before. He says this: Hey gamers, I hope your PS5 arrived on time and you're all having a lovely time with it. Not being able to buy one myself and play Demon's Souls, I was instead watching other people play it. What what I found particularly interesting was how it looked like a Souls game, but not like a From Software game, or even a Japanese game for that matter. Now, Japanese video games have a very distinctive look. Even more Western titles, like the Souls titles, can just with the way enemies and bosses are designed, you can often tell where the game was developed. I've seen comparisons between the first boss in the original Demon's Souls and in the remake, and while you can clearly tell that it is the same boss, the remake made him less weird and grotesque. Some might say it's actually safe and generic, but I actually like it and find it way less jarring. Now, I've also read an article that compared Japanese contemporary fantasy to Western 90s fantasy, which in terms of grotesqueness, I found quite fitting. Modern Western fantasy games lean more towards a less is more approach. So does the Demon's Souls remake, and you can see it in the UI where they used clear lines, flat icons, fonts, giving it a minimalist and ultimately more modern look. From what I've seen, Bluepoint have done a fucking great job at adapting this game and making the right amount of small and big changes to capture what makes it unique while putting their own spin on it. Greetings from Germany, Long Quan. So that's an interesting thing that you can kind of tell that it's not been done by a Japanese team this time. What do you guys make of that?
No, I mean, there's definitely a point, because like you can even look back at it with Bluepoint and Shadow of the Colossus. Like that was like, it was compared to the original, which is like very hazy, and there was a lot of like yellow tint to the game and lots of like really blown out lighting in the game. Whereas in the Bluepoint remake of Colossus, it was like, it was very clean, everything was very sharp and defined. Yeah. The UI was a lot cleaner, but there's definitely a point there.
Yeah, you're dead right, Liam, because like even that like fantasy like thing is just awash with like haze and the colour yellow in a lot of Japanese stuff, and I don't really know what the deal is with that, but the UI being so, minimalist, UX, UI, user experience looking might be dated one day, but not as dated as the Demon's Souls graphics in the original. The game is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. Like even other games look like on my PS5 have been like it looks so good, and I'm not used to playing a game in such a high frame rate that me and my daughter were watching cartoons after, and I felt sick watching Mr. Tumble's little head move because I could see the frames like it just seemed off. Like I played played a bit of Ratchet and Clank, the sort of PS4 like was it a launch title or at least an early one?
No, it was a
couple of years after.
3 years later.
It was making me feel a bit like I had to go back to Demon's Souls. Just the design changes. I know exactly what to pinpoint what it is about even something like a Dregling with a shield and a dagger, just some sort of anthropomorphic. Well, it is a human, like some drained of life human, but you can even tell how that's designed, that it's been done by Japanese people, I think. I know what you mean, actually, but it's really hard to put it into words. So I think by emailing and doing a really fucking good job, then impressive.
Yeah.
I think people haven't really shown off to some of the best areas in the game in the streams, because I've been watching some streams and they've been painful. Just people who can't. 90% of the streams is just the first level. You can't. Mike, I don't know if you know this, but this isn't really spoiling anything, but until you beat the first boss, you don't have the ability to go to the other areas, because it's not like Dark Souls, which is open world. You have to beat the first area before you can do it. And so you can't explore these other worlds, whereas later, like at any other point, like Dark Souls, if you're stuck anywhere, you can always just try somewhere else. So 90% of the stuff I've seen online has just been this a Bolitarian palace all the way. But wait till you see like the mines, and wait till you see like where the cave diggers live, and oh my god, it's crazy.
I have to say, like, I don't know how they did it, but Bluepoint have somehow made the Prisoner Hope even creepier than it was in the original in the Souls remake. Like, and I like. The HDR in Demon's Souls is actually too good, in my opinion. because
dial it down.
the way the lighting works with HDR is like in classic Souls fashion. You've got like the little bauble of light around your character, and everything else is sort of like darkness, sense of foreboding. But I embarrassingly died to the same hole in the ground about 5 times because I couldn't see the thing.
Right.
Because I had the perfect black levels of HDR, and I couldn't see this hole in the ground because the lighting's too good. But yeah,
it's a really nice game, and I just think it's kind of. I didn't even play the original, but I've spent a lot of time looking at it recently, and the effort that they've got. Like what's great is that I didn't play the original, so I don't know, but I can. It feels like a From Software game. They have got it really.
Oh yeah,
really close. You would like almost not guess. I played Sekiro on a PS5 as well. That's a bit more. You've got the reflexes there that are unlike anything else. But honestly, I don't think you'd really be able to. I don't know, unless you're an expert, and you're looking at the A and B, you'd never be able to tell. They've done a good job. And do you know what the funny thing is about this? It's like Bluepoint are like magicians, You pull off an amazing trick, people go, "Oh my god, can I see the next one?" That's what it's like. They spent years and years and years making it, and everyone's gone, "Can't wait for you to do something next." And it's like, guys,
that's totally true.
So
I think we have all. I mean, Liam said, "What did you say?"
That was because it was like, it was like 20 million different games that Bluepoint were rumored to be remaking before it was revealed it was Demon's Souls, and they did the whole thing where they went on Twitter and just did a tweet filled with words of every game that people said they were remaking. So they had Metal Gear in there, Symphony of the Night in there, Souls was in it. Yeah, they had so many doing, and they've been doing it again as well. Tweeting about tweeting about the door in Demon's Souls. They were making more cryptic tweets, and now people are starting to think again, oh, they're remaking this next, they're remaking that.
Castlevania seems to be the favourite that they're remaking. Which, if they are, then that means that they're speaking to Konami. Which means if they're speaking to Konami,
and they already did the Metal Gear Solid HD collection back on 360. So the relationship is there. That's why I will never give up hope.
I really enjoyed Shadow of the Colossus from what I played, and we all played it together actually. But Demon's Souls has just been something else. It's not going to be beaten for my game of the year. I know it. I haven't finished any other game 5 times in a fucking week, have I? So exactly. how can unless Tetris Effect comes out fucking swinging game of the year every year? No, but yeah, it really is a work of art, and I think the aesthetic changes that they've made have been this really cool balance of making different things, but without seemingly offending anybody. I'm sure there are people absolutely frothing at the mouth about some of these changes, but they can fuck off, can't they?
Couldn't have put it better myself. I mean, my copy's just arrived today, so I can't wait to play that. And I'm kind of glad that it didn't arrive at the same time, really. And I didn't get Call of Duty immediately either. I've not spent a huge amount of time with any one game, even though I have spent most of my time with Valhalla. I have been jumping between different titles and seeing how things play and stuff.
I saved Demon's Souls for last. Out of all the games I got, I said, because I knew it was going to be great, so I just saved it for last night. I did Spider-Man first, then Call of Duty. I've not actually played Bugsnax yet, but that was a PS Plus game, But Demon's Souls, I was like, I'm gonna save this for dessert, I guess. But
which is the best course, isn't it? Right. I think we are kind of tight, like I was saying, but I think we can probably do one more email. I do kind of want to bring this up because I haven't thought about it, and I think it's a good point. So this is an email from Jack Canning, who hasn't sent anything in before. Jack says, "Dear Special Moves, this is my first time writing into the podcast after being a lurker the whole time. Nice. I was watching the most recent podcast where you've talked about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I'm not a huge COD player, and I normally skip the releases, but after spending so long on Modern Warfare with my friends, I'm assuming that's the year's just gone Modern Warfare, I thought during lockdown this would be a great game to play with some friends to kill time. Where it has definitely killed time is in zombies and multiplayer. By Saturday afternoon, we were all noticing a severe lack of content in the game. The regular 6v6 multiplayer has 6 maps and 2 larger scale maps, bringing the total to a huge 8 maps. One of those larger maps also includes one of the smaller maps built in, so I guess it's more like 7.5. We've had fun with zombies, but again, this only has the 1 map. The last Black Ops had 3 of these on launch, but I presume the argument there is that the last game didn't come with a campaign, which I would never play anyway, as it's not for me. My argument that a game that is multiplayer-based for its longevity, launching with 6 maps for its core game mode, is absurd and shouldn't be good practice. Season 1 starts for the game with free content for Warzone and multiplayer, as well as Nuketown being a bonus map. To me, it seems backwards that the studio have 2 years since their latest release and can only make 6 multiplayer maps for its launch. And it makes me worried for future multiplayer games copying this formula in the future. Sorry for the rant, but I think it's an important point to address on a game that's retailing at 70 quid on new consoles. I'd love to know your opinions on this. Thanks for the podcast, and look forward to writing something more positive in the future. Jack Canning. Nice one, Jack. Thanks for sending an email, mate.
Yeah, so I think there's something to this, and it's because of the development of the game. Right. So Call of Duty this year was meant to be made by Sledgehammer, the people who did World War II and Advanced Warfare.
Okay.
But apparently they were having creative differences with, I can't remember if it was another Call of Duty studio or...
We want an RPG bit in LA.
I hope that it's they want to make another Dead Space game.
I hope so. Well, that's the thing. The studio founders, Big Glenn Schofield and Michael Condrey, they left because of these creative differences, apparently. And so apparently whatever Sledgehammer was working on got scrapped, and Raven Software came in to do the campaign, and then Treyarch picked up the multiplayer last minute. So apparently it's like Cold War is apparently it's like just a bit of a hodgepodge of different ideas really quickly thrown together to get a Call of Duty out for this year. Yeah. So it seems to have some behind the scenes development trouble going on with it. And apparently the campaign was made in a year or something, very last second. The multiplayer was thrown together from whatever Treyarch was working on themselves, and then the different modes were just plopped in there as well and stuff. So it's so the lack of content I think might be down to that, just a bit of drama at the Call of Duty development studios. But I remember, I can't remember, there was another Call of Duty, it might have been Black Ops 3 or 4 actually, that launched with barely any maps in it, and it felt like you were playing the same 3 or 4 maps just over and over again.
And they did try and say that Black Ops 4 had tons of multiplayer content, but then of course the caveat was that they scrapped the campaign
it might have been, yeah.
Because imagine if you didn't have a campaign and the lack of maps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've got, it's kind of related, but I wanted to just bring this up in case Jack has missed it, and I had to tell you because it made me laugh out loud, and I've been saving it for the podcast. I was so tempted to bring it up. I was texting my mate earlier, and he was telling me that he's not really interested in getting Call of Duty unless I can show him something that's going to make him laugh. And there's a mode called Dirty Bomb, which is That's not the punchline. It's not the punchline. So there's a mode called Dirty Bomb where you jump out of a plane. Have you played this mode?
No,
I don't think so.
It's so funny. It's like a mini little. It's like Jack, play it if you've not played it. It's its own map, and you have to jump out of a plane like Warzone and collect you. It's like Chernobyl, the show. All right, you have to jump out of the plane and gather uranium, and deposit the uranium, and as the game goes on, you start getting weird status effects. I'll read this out for people who have only got the audio version. As the game goes on, it just comes up in the corner. You know, like in Demon Souls, you get poisoned or plagued or cursed. This is you're playing a game mode called Dirty Bomb, picking up uranium with your bare hands, and then as the game goes on, it says internal bleeding, fatigue. Ridiculous. Is it trying to make me care about my stupid little soldier by telling me that it's I started playing it and it just had a weakness, fatigue. I picked up one of you in it. It says, maybe these are the creative differences that they're talking about.
Yeah.
We need to stop saying this. Yeah, but it was. I played it. Anyway, the reason I bring it up is because
was Neil Druckmann involved in the development of that game?
Yeah. Your dog's died back home. The reason I played it is because I saw it on the sidebar and it had a map I'd not seen. And Jack's right. I'd written. We played a bit, and I played it before you guys got it, and. I'd rinsed out the maps, and then we've played one game of zombies, and we've done all the zombies maps. I suppose there's also the huge thing to consider here, and I guess they want you to consider it as well because it's baked into the fucking main menu. Is that there is still a completely free, completely developed and updated for free product, which is Call of Duty Warzone, which is slightly connected. You remember, you have to just simply download the 88 gig Modern Warfare file, compatibility data pack 1 and multiplayer pack 3, but you can play that game mode, which is 113 fucking gig. But because that's free and they've been updating it, I can imagine a lot of the resources are still getting pumped into that, really. I know that they're separate teams and whatnot, but I know that there's plans to really merge them. Like, I think you can bring your classes in, or at least that's coming up.
But
so
I still don't understand. So I mean, Cold War is set in the Cold War. So is Warzone still Modern Warfare, or is it like?
I think it's going to be like seasons, like Fortnite. Like,
Well, cause if you play, the further you get into the campaign of Cold War, they do try and start this whole bullshit Call of Duty connected universe with the appearance of a certain character in a mission. I won't say
Ronald Reagan again.
It is not Ronald Reagan, but the amount of times I've heard "Fate of the Free World" in that game has to be self-parody at this point.
It's hilarious.
It can't be unintentional. How many times that opening cutscene where Reagan walks in to the briefing room.
He touches your hair. Well, he doesn't. Yeah. You might as well be patting your head and saying "good boy."
The amount of times in that one cutscene they say "Fate of the Free World" or "Variation of Free World."
Yeah,
it's silly.
Do you know what really made me laugh? Even though you already fucking told me about it, I knew it was going to happen. Is when I filled the form in and then it went Michael Bell Williams and then crossed out my name and just left the Bell. Who thought Bell was a funny?
Got him. Yeah,
they do explain it.
Yeah. That's
sort of.
They should have thought of another thing to explain because Bell is fucking hilarious.
I don't know. Like, by the time I got to the end, like the second to last mission of the Black Ops Cold War campaign, and I saw where the story was going, I was like, they've already done this twice. They did it in Black Ops 1 and they did it in Black Ops 3. They're doing it again. So I don't know why they thought it might work this time. When it already worked in Black Ops 1, it did not work in Black Ops 3. It was very bad in Black Ops 3. And now we're trying it again.
For the kids that aren't actually even legally old enough to buy the game. It's probably for the people that it's one. And that's the sad truth of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck, do they? If what you are saying is truly, in which it shows that the whole Call of Duty thing is just a skeleton with like a wrapper around it, and it doesn't take a huge amount of time to change the wrapper and change the graphics. And by graphics, I mean the artwork, the logo and the branding, and what modes are we going to check in? Zombies, whatever.
If the credits are anything to go by, there was like 1,000 development studios that worked on this game. So if they managed to pump it out in a year, 2 years. That honestly doesn't surprise me at all.
And it's matched, 6 maps up with the game. So, but I wonder what's going to happen, and I wonder if they're going to offer some free updates or if it's going to be paid DLC. Seems like an old sort of model for it to follow.
There is a roadmap out there already, but I can't remember what's on it. And it's like, it's got like Warzone and a Cold War separate, and then eventually they like funnel together on the roadmap. So I don't know what they're planning to do. Okay. But like I remember hearing stuff like they were gonna put weapons from Cold War into Warzone, but then would you have like 2 different versions of the MP5 or whatever? Just like one's from the 80s, the other one is from 2020. So I don't know what's going on.
Well, here we go. Just before you go, Jack, before you go off there, mate, more multiplayer maps and modes are coming December 10th. So thanks for writing in. Hopefully that's actually just a direct answer.
By December 10th, I am going to be just Destiny in it, so I'm not going to give a shit. This was like, I really wanted it as like, a multiplayer game to play with you guys. And, it does a lot. The DualSense stuff is cool. Mm-hmm. There's technical stuff that I want to try, like the 120 hertz mode and stuff, which, you either basically can choose if you want to have ray tracing active or if you want to play it at 120 hertz, which is, it's cool to like test, flex all the fucking console muscles. So it's a good game to do that with. But then beyond that, I don't think it's
a good launch title.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone who sent in the emails. Thanks, Jack. That was a good email, mate. Keep them coming. It's dspesalmoves@gmail.com. But like I said, we do have a giant pile, a backlog to get through. So maybe don't worry too much about it this week. Right. Shall we do the new games then? There's not a huge amount of stuff out this week. We're recording this on Monday the 23rd. So we're not going to be out till, going to be a bit late this week. But by which time, World of Warcraft Shadowlands will already be out on PC and Mac. This is a huge expansion to the eternal, immortal MMO World of Warcraft. I already know people in work who are just going for this, and I didn't even... people you don't know. Yeah.
It's like people who voted for it, innit? They just keep appearing, and you don't know until it's too late. It's exactly the same as people that are just kind of bringing it up to me. Jake, you're a gamer. What about the new World of Warcraft? And I'm like...
Yeah. Get a PS5 is what my answer to that is.
Don't forget about Demon Souls.
Think how much game time you can get on WoW for the price of the PS5. You can get the new Shadowlands expansion and... I don't know, a year. I don't know how much subs to WoW are anymore.
And yet, here I am with a PS5 and not a World of Warcraft opener. Just Dance is out on the 24th, which is the Tuesday, Just Dance 2021, on PS5 and Xbox Series X. Oh. So, I mean, that is interesting.
I've been playing it. It's quite good.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that you had to actually,
Well, that'll be the free upgrade, I imagine, or the boxed version. I looked over the next few weeks, and there's already the PS5 box of the PS4 game that already exists. So, how we've been having tons and tons of Switch ports.
Yeah.
We're going to be getting a lot of that, a lot of boxed versions of boxed releases for next gen stuff.
Right. I don't know if I had a review copy or whatnot, but it's you have to connect your phone unless you've got one of those really. Whoever has one of those PlayStation cameras, I'd love to hear. I'd love to let us know.
Yeah. That's what I was meaning before. Does it use the Move controllers? Does it?
You can, or you can use an app on your phone or the camera.
I was wondering how that worked with that because I know it was massive on the Wii, but that makes sense because of the motion controllers. But
it's an app or it's just a thing. But same with the Switch as well, isn't it?
Yeah, they do all right on the Switch, I think, don't they? Because for obvious reasons, it's built into the.
My daughter, Ellie's always on it on the Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can imagine. All right, so on the 25th is Star Renegades on PS4.
Oh, yeah.
That's an RPG from published by Raw Fury that I've been looking forward to. Jake, did you play a bit?
Yeah, I actually played some today. I had a day off from work today, and I thought, I can't just talk about Demon Souls and Tetris, can I?
Yeah.
So I got Star Renegades, and it crashed it crashed twice. So I've done the first 20 minutes 3 times.
Great.
It looks nice, sounds nice, crashes a lot. There we go.
I've been looking forward to this. It looks all right, but who am I kidding? I'm not playing anything else. I'm not playing anything that isn't on a fucking 4K OLED screen for the time being. Vigor, which is also out on PS4, this is a looter shooter by Bohemia Interactive, who are the people behind DayZ, Armour, which I've not heard what they've been up to for a long time. So
it's free to play, loot and shoot game, free to play.
Well, I hope it's good.
Yeah,
everyone involved. And on the 26th is Spirit of the North Enhanced Edition on PS5. I have no idea what this is, but it's one of the first. It's one of the earliest PS5 games. Do you guys know anything about this? Spirit of the North Enhanced Edition.
I have played this somehow. I played it at a games convention. I want to say it was EGX last year, and it was just really simplistic. I have this as the game. You play as a fox, and it's a puzzle game, and I didn't know if it was like a student made it or what. Listen. This is from the same guy that played Genshin Impact in March and went, "This is never going to work." Remember? so
Industry analyst.
I played this game and I just thought like it was like some like student award thing, but turns out it's doing all right. It's on the PS5, so
cool. Right.
Sorry, that's mean, but it's true.
There's actually a few other things. There's quite a few things coming to the Switch and whatnot, but there's nothing that's
right.
Jumping out to me. So that was the 107th Special Moves podcast. Thank you for putting up with yet more PlayStation 5 content. Who am I kidding? There's probably going to be loads more next week. There's actually some Total War DLC coming up very, very soon, which I'm excited about. So,
I've been holding a game back. I've been playing the Pathless, which is on PS5, but I've been playing it on the iPad. So I'll be talking about that next week.
iPad. What's one of them then?
It's not 4K OLED. That's all you need to worry about.
Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for watching. Remember, keep your Dear Special Moves correspondence coming in. We've done a bonus podcast last week. If you're a patron, do check that out on our Patreon page. Otherwise, see you soon.